I do have the official synopsis if you want me to read it now. And it's a teenage girl has recurring nightmares of a tower collapse in the 1960s. She discovers that these nightmares are a premonition she inherited from her grandmother. There
Ah,
you go.
okay.
So you are
Interesting.
right. It's something to do with the family of people that have already suffered this curse somehow. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be connected to the original timeline of films, and maybe it's going to be characters that we've already seen in some of these other sequels. Most of them are dead, so I don't know how it could be, but I'll be interested to see where they go with it.
Yeah, exactly. That sort of idea, that makes a lot more sense because everything in the series, like, see if anyone survives a film in the previous series. There's sort of like a brief thing in the following film where they're like, oh no, they died off screen because this, that, and the other. Like, I think the survivors of the second one, they just somehow died in a wood chipper accident. You're like, how the hell's that happen?
Just somehow died, like
No, just the
yeah,
wood
because
chipper.
I mean we'll get into it in a bit, like, but I
Yeah.
know I know that Alex from the first film who survives dies by a falling brick.
No, because I had to remind myself again because I was going through the kills just to jot them down just to sort of refresh myself. And then I was like, how did Alex die again? And then like a brick. Like
Hmm.
out of all the things, that's probably the softest death of the
And
first one when you
you
think
don't even
about it.
see it. It happens
No.
between the first film and the second film. So yeah, so I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any sort of recognizable names in terms of the cast in this film. It's going to be directed
Hmm.
by a team of directors, which again is never always a great thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The team is Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, who directed a film called Freaks, and they also directed a couple of episodes of the new Fraggle Rock TV show.
Okay.
So that's a bit strange. But Lipovsky directed Leprechaun Origins. So I don't know
Oh.
if you've seen that film, but that doesn't, bode well for this either. But we'll give him a chance.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms!
The script is written by Guy Busick, who is a collaborator of Radio Silence. He wrote Abigail, he wrote Ready or Not, and he wrote the Scream sequel.
Ah.
So that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I mean, I quite like those films. That could be more to do with the directors, though, who we're big fans of. And it's
Yeah.
also a story by John Watts, which I thought was really strange, of Spider-Man: Homecoming and Skeleton Crew fame. So fuck knows what we're going to get.
You know what? It's just thrown all in a big pot. So you're gonna get a nice stew or a shite stew, right?
I know, but
So
I would rather a stew made by one chef than having three or four different chefs coming in and putting in their own ingredients and kind of fucking up the flavors. So
that's true.
that's going to be a strange one for me. And I'm never a big fan of films that have multiple writers. Although I know that is quite common in Hollywood anyway.
Yeah.
It does have a third writer. She's called Laurie Evans Taylor. I think she's mostly worked in TV before. She's an actress and a writer and a producer. So we'll see. She's probably going to be writing the script, and then those other guys are going to come in at the very end and be like, change that guy's name and give me a credit, and we'll make a bit of money on
Yeah.
this script.
Plus, there could have been script doctors as well on set, like just boosting dialogue and all sorts of things.
Hmm.
Because you never really hear them too much. But no, I'm intrigued to see where it goes. But at the same time, directorial teams rarely work as well as like Radio Silence is the outlier for me, in terms of horror and what they bring to the table. But I'm definitely willing to give it a chance. And then based on what they've done with this sort of teaser clip, I'm definitely game to see how they're going to develop it.